Hello, welcome to Mercy TV. You know the drill.
Wear your mask when it's necessary. Be with your friends.
And all that fun stuff. Hey, welcome to Mercy TV, an action item of Mercy, the Medical Cannabis Resource Center. Greetings, I'm Perry Normal. This is Sunny, Patient Resource Coordinator, and producer PK.
Executive producer.
Executive. See more of executive producer PK's work at mercycenters.org. Click on the Mercy TV link and see our YouTube library of shows.
And very much thanks to CCTV for hosting this program for us.
Thank you.
Indeed. And gosh, we're coming up on 20 years of doing this here, so a big thanks to them for staying with us all this time and all the work they do to help us get the show out to you and to help people with getting their cards and getting medicine now in the short term while figuring out a grow plan for the long term. Best methods for medicating, modalities, best ways to make this medicine, and harvesting, curing, and of course keeping up with the programs, keeping up with the laws, and if you're a state where your program isn't what it should be, how to change the laws. Of course, we shouldn't have a special law for cannabis, medical cannabis, like we do here in Oregon. And in the end, it should be treated like any other medicine and be available to everybody that could benefit from it.
We are fortunate that we can grow 4 plants individually, but if you're a patient, you could grow 6 plants, and that this is a benefit for the patient because we need a little more medicine than the regular folks. But you regular folks, you're using this medicine as well.
Blessings. Blessings.
Here, take a smell of this, my friend.
Very nice, very nice.
Here, load a bowl.
Very nice.
Oh, yeah, nice.
You know, it's good medicine, and you know, these are the things that the patients use that help for all the different, you know, like for seizures and arthritis and the
Skin
Bug
conditions
bites.
of all kinds, yeah. Skin trauma, cuts, scrapes,
And your
bruises.
internal organs also.
well, the psoriasis.
Right.
Psoriasis is
Well, and joints, muscles and joint pain.
I use it for my carpal tunnel.
All kinds of aches and pains, migraine, headaches. A lot of folks get relief by rubbing oil right here. And
You don't have to smoke it to have the benefits of the product.
yes, one of the benefits for the medical community is that some of the modalities are not readily available in the stores or affordable if they are available. So patients should be able to, in the old days, used to network with those who could make these, make the medicine in the modality and the mode that they work best for them, whether it was oils, teas, tinctures, or baked goods, you know. So
it opens up the sinuses so good and clears as soon as it makes my nose run.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I did that, it just made my nose run so hard. And if it does, it's okay. You don't feel bad.
At one time, they used to have the athletes of marathons, enjoy smoking cannabis before the event. And because they had opened up their lungs so they could take bigger breaths and beat the other athletes.
Well, people don't know. They need to be educated about things like this. They don't know why is my nose wasn't running, and now all of a sudden my nose is running. Well, did you smell some medicine? Oh, well, did you know? Because you smelled it, and you smelled it, and it opened up things.
Interesting how just the smell of it, when usually you
And it's okay. Don't think it poisoned you. It didn't
Or
poison.
get you high.
It's okay. Now you can breathe, and it's good. And now it's good because, and then when you smoke, it'll be good for you. You know, and you can breathe better, and it's all natural, and you will feel better. And these are things that are good for you. And you know, when you talk about it, it's good for you, and you'll have good energy. And you know, when you know this is, and it's good for you, and you know, and then all of a sudden, you know, oh yeah, and it was a strawberry, and it was the kind of a blueberry, and it was
Train wreck is the father of this.
This was a train wreck, you know.
And Sonny's talking about strains. For those of you,
Well, because we want to know the different kinds of strains, because these strains are important for the different kinds of people that have the condition because the conditions and the strains with the conditions, well, because always we want to know they go together, because those kinds of conditions are going, I love you, bro, are good when you know what they do for you. And when they do that, it'll help you. In the end, you will notice, man, I felt so good. Man, sometimes you don't get such a good because you go, well, man, that one didn't do so good. Man, the other one did really good, but that didn't do so good. Well, sometimes it does better. Well, man, don't worry. If you go back and you use the same kind of medicine, you'll notice it did really good. Now, how come that one did so good and the other one didn't? It was a different kind of strain.
well, there's
They
all
have
kinds of things in it, really.
So many different molecules in the cannabis plant. You got your CBDs up to your THC, and there's hundreds of different molecules or substances in the cannabis, and that's the different strains that you're talking about. It's not like the old days of getting some Mexican or some Colombian or some.
But it's okay. You still get to be able to use all of the medicine, because there's so much in medicine that's good for you, that your vital organs get to use. And when all your vital organs use it, it's good for your blood. And when your blood uses it, see, like the psoriasis, it does good for me. See, look, all the psoriasis, gone. All the psoriasis, gone. And you know, it's a beautiful thing, because now when I see my doctor, he goes, that's really good. So cannabis is good because
Right.
psoriasis is gone.
You know, the irregardless of the strains, and there's other factors involved in how potent or efficacious the cannabis that you're growing comes out to be. And we'll go over those in a minute, but it's the important thing is to point out that all cannabis is benign, relatively benign. I mean, the negative side effects, you know, are negligible, and so whether or not it works for you, any particular plant or batch may vary, but the fact is that you can count on it to be safe to not kill you, to not physically damage you for life, is something that we need to get out there, because it's the harm, the potential harm of it, that's been keeping the cannabis prohibition in place and keeping all the benefits that we can get from it from regular folks. And to get the most out of it, you need to be able to also weigh in the factors and control these factors. Your grow process, starting with, what are you growing in? Are you growing in soil? Are you indoors? Are you outdoors? Is your water good? You're checking out the pH and all that. Are you getting nutrients? Is the soil nutrient, or you have foods going in and all? Your light, your water, your circulation, your air, is it
Ventilation.
allowing it to breathe
and a
and
lot
so
of
forth?
people have talked to Pete, and Pete has, shared a lot of things.
Shared on my garden.
And that's
And
how.
then, getting talking about getting water as it goes through if you have it outdoors and you get to the rainy season, you need to weigh how long you extend it versus getting molds, and of course all through its whole grow time, worrying about bugs and molds and other things which could detract from the plant. But then there's also harvesting, and leading up to harvesting, you want to make sure that you're
It's all natural.
flushing it out, giving it just pure water without anything in it at all. And then the actual harvesting of it and the curing process. That's where a lot of folks can end up not maximizing their benefits by not storing it properly. So again, mold or some other factor can take effect, or not storing, like keeping it upside down and making sure that the curing a nice cool dry place and so forth. So all these things come into it, and then preparing it, making a concentrate of it like a butter or something like that, to where you can get, and using the whole plant in it. That's one thing about smoking, is you're not, some of it's being incinerated before it's getting to you. So where you're using it in making oil, the whole plant, or you're making butter, these things will get all of the CBDs, CBNs, ermines, terpenes, THCs, THCV, F, J, B, C through Z into your system.
Well, and depending on your condition and what is being used for you, and how whether it's being cooked, and and how
on various processes, like as we said before in our baking show, don't make your temperatures too high, because then you'll just vaporize it off and not get as much as you would if you didn't do that. So
we want to help and do, and these are the things people are doing. They're hurting each other, so
Well, at least the federal government is having education and the right way. Many states have turned to the cannabis recreational or medical department. Too bad it's not all medical or that, but if you're using a regulation, you're still using the medicine. And you can't spell healthcare without the words THC or the letters.
Right.
Dan Kruger.
Yes, sir. And what a good man. And these are the things we do with the cannabis, and how we share with people and other places in other states. And look what everybody's doing in Perry. Look what they've done with, like we were talking earlier. And the benefit that, why did it take so long, and people, and look what they had to go through to get to where we're at today.
Right, and we're not near done. There's a number of bills at the federal level, and some states have recently added to it. Case in point is here in Oregon, where the medical cannabis laws is really bad, starting with how much it costs to get with the program, and goes downhill from there. And it used to be a model for the country, and it's only by the saving grace of recreational, which makes it medical for all adults, is the fact that we ended up kicking so many people off of it by how bad it is, but they're able to do it as recreational, so thank God for that. But there's a lot of differences between it and in the medical community and the recreational, if you will. It's a matter of, I'd like this, I'm going to spend a lot of money, but I'm going to get some really good stuff, a little bit of it that I need for, and what I'm sure for a lot of recreational users is quasi-medical use, really. But the patient, it's a matter of life and death. They need it particular ways and means. They often need different modalities, different strains. This is the one. I want a sativa to go through the day, and I want an indica to put me to sleep at night. It's something we've heard from little old ladies and retired police chiefs and fire chiefs, and
this is every day, and it's okay. And you know what? It's how we're learning from our state to every state, and some states don't even want to talk about it, and they're learning that they can, and it's okay. And this is the education and why we're doing this TV show, and we're trying to educate, and you can educate, and you can learn, and maybe you can educate us. Maybe you know some things that we don't know, or that we haven't talked about today, or that you know some things that so let us know. You can
really, I mean, if anyone out there has heard of Canasol, for example, it was a cannabis-based medicine. It was made in Jamaica a long time ago in the 1980s, and they stopped producing it, and
I wonder because it worked or it didn't work.
Well, I guess it's a matter of funding.
It works. It works. It is.
Well,
good.
one thing was that the guy who invented it passed away, so the founder and inventor of it,
the formula,
they had that little aspect. But we should be able to, come on, this is America, we should be able to reinvent the wheel. And so if anyone has any information on how to make a cannabis-based, eye drops, similar to Canasol, then please let us know. Because we're getting a lot of contacts from folks who need that for, like, glaucoma,
everything that we do with cannabis works, So.
And if it doesn't work, at least it doesn't kill you. So.
And it helps, and it does better for people, and it strengthens people's body.
Right.
And all their organs and their blood system. And this is what, it doesn't hurt you.
No.
It helps you.
See?
And it strengthens you. And it gives the persons that uses it better.
That's something to point out. During this pandemic, there was a well-known figure who stated, try hydroxychloroquine, try this, bleach, do this, and said, what have you got to lose? Well, your life, generally, and your health, and the fact that these things have no possibility of working. But you can say that with cannabis. Try it. What have you got to lose? You certainly won't lose your life. You won't lose a limb. You won't actually cough up a lung or contract a tumor.
You won't have the side effects that they mention after these over-the-counter medicines.
No, and see, I don't like that though, because then they would blame it on cannabis. See, and that's not cool, because you still can blame it on cannabis, and that's not true. That gives you a scapegoat, and that ain't cool.
Right.
Because that ain't cool.
Well, cannabis has been a scapegoat for decades. I mean,
1937.
Samantha Bee had a little blurb on cannabis prohibition, and thanks Sam Bee for doing that. That was a great, nice, concise thing about it and how it's still going on and what we can do to end it, which is to register, vote, and get everyone you know to do so also. And then you get everyone you don't know yet involved.
Know your neighbors. Be friendly. Courteous.
And vote smart and help your friends and family to vote smart as well. Visit our website, mercycenters.org, and check out our action items, including a link to votesmart.org, which has all the representatives and senators and how they voted on the issues. So, and of course, ways to look up just who your representative is. So, contact your representatives at all levels, from presidential candidates all the way down to dog catcher, and make sure that cannabis aware folks are in charge of your laws or enforcing your laws and legislating them too. That's how the Oregon State Medical Marijuana Program was, devolved into the train wreck that it is now, is because legislators applied reefer madness mentality to it and did all these things in the name of
profit. They were looking for profit.
Well, they were looking to kill the program. All of it was about saving the children. Children were being adversely affected. All the marijuana being grown was had this in testimony. Oregon State Police said that Oregon pot was ending up on the East Coast in the hands of children, specifically stating that. And it's like, what's your proof? That's.
Well, I had a friend going, he's a Floridan, and they had Oregon reefer at the head shop.
Interesting. I didn't know they allowed interstate.
That's what I said, but he said...
Well, and it's in a way ironic, Oregon has had a reputation for decades for some very good cannabis here, and folks have always been bragging, almost like Hawaii and other places where you can cultivate it and get some very high quality stuff. And I'm sure that there is not a case where it finds its way from one locale to the other, but to say that all of it, tons and tons of marijuana is it's falsehood. And we can't keep basing our laws on these lies, really. So, register, vote, get everyone you know to do so also, and vote smart,
And please use your own smoking device. We don't need to be spreading the virus around when you're with unknown people. These are my brothers, so we're close friends. But
well, yeah, with family versus when you're out in public, as it were. I mean, we don't have a lot of public places for smoking here in Oregon. Other places probably do, like Netherlands and so forth, still. And for medical cannabis patients, it's good to be germ conscious anyway, pandemic or no. So always consider those things when in your cannabis applications. Yeah.
So we mention every week, or we try to, we have a march the first weekend of May, May 1st, north end of the Capitol Mall. Summer Street comes into Marion, I think it is, right?
Center and the intersection of Center and Summer Streets is where we will be gathering. The first Saturday in May is J Day. Yay! And what happens is that there's a global cannabis activity, action items. Several people march and rally. Hundreds of cities every year. Over the course of some 20 years of doing it, there's over 1,000 cities have signed up and participated in at least one march over this time. Visit mercycenters.org for more on it. See if your city is there. And if not, there's a means for you to sign up your city. And if you just gather on a street corner with a couple of people and some signs, it's doing something. Little things like that.
Participation
what has led to what we've got today. All those states that legalized, New York, Virginia, Utah, all of them had people standing on street corners at some time. So I had people talking to their legislators. I had people talking to their friends, their families, Had people putting themselves out there, receiving calls from people who have been arrested, who've had their lives disrupted by the pot war, have someone who's sick and dying, and their last, can we get, at least say goodbye? Can they have a little bit of cannabis so we can at least say goodbye?
The medicine works.
Quality of life.
And there's a lot of folks like that out there, and this is your opportunity to network with them on J Day, the first Saturday in May. Now, in Salem, Oregon, the plan is to gather about 11:30 at the intersection of Summer and Center Streets on Saturday, May 1st. And then we'll go for an hour with our demonstration. Hopefully have some literature there talking about this event and cannabis prohibition in general. So hopefully you can be there at your nearest March city. Visit mercycenters.org to find out. Oh, well, we've got a few more minutes left. This has been Mercy TV. Thanks to my cohorts and Compassionate Common Sense.
CCTV.
Sonny, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you guys, and thank you CCTV so much for all these years, and all the people. There's so many people that have passed, and we have so many blessings, and if anybody ever talks and you hear anything about CCTV, just so much blessings, and
what a good job you're doing.
Thank you, Producer PK. Folks can see more of his work on Channel 23 in the Salem metro area, or visit our website, mercycenters.org. Click on the Mercy TV link. Go to our YouTube channel. Spread the word. Tell your friends. Tell your enemies. And gosh, that is all the time we have for.
Well, I want to say thank you for Dr. LeBeck, Nurse Mike, and
Henry,
Shauna, Henry Turner. Hey, be safe.
Sam.
Have fun. Go fly a kite on a good day. Thank you. Peace and victory.
Register, vote, get everyone you know to do so also.
Good day, my friends. You want to say anything before I turn it off, Glenn?
Yes, good night.
Good night. God bless you all, every single one of you.